we have reached the very end of our series looking at the main story teams for Inazuma 11 games and ranking all the main story players. So today, for the final time, we're going to team up with Zikr AK and bring you guys every story player in Inazuma 11 Go Galaxy ranked from worst to best. Now, there's a few things to get out of the way in terms of things we're looking at for this list. We're ranking players based on their viability and usefulness, and we're rating their viability from chapter 1 all the way to level 99. Down here, there's going to be a little thing that tells you what positions these players are best at, so goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward, ranked from 1 to 5. 5 being the best, 1 being they're absolutely terrible in this position, do not put them in them if you value your life. And finally, we're completely excluding all the random optional players you get in that big, scout whichever player you want from all across the series thing, because I'd be here for hours and be crying at the end of it. And also Tail the Toaster covered all of those over on his channel, and there's no point just me repeating all that information ad nauseum. Without further ado, let's dive straight in. Charisse Blossom is the absolute worst entry on the list, though she is still pretty useful with spammy dribble moves and a solid dribbling totem. However, she is completely awful defensively, only having 50-ish block and nothing else to cover it. This one really hurts me, because Falco Flashman is arguably my favorite player from this entire list, but he is unfortunately not very good. He's a unique striker to use, but he lacks strength due to a horrendous kickstart growth. However, to make up for it, he can run around players thanks to his pumped up skill. However, he's this low because he can't quite get good enough shots and strong enough shots to be able to actually really do anything. One of my other favorite characters in this list again falls at the bottom. Fancy Footwork is a reliable move throughout the entirety of the game, but that's pretty much all Frank Foreman does. His weak straight counter with 69 kick isn't going to provide any use at all, but he does get Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which is a great skill as it gives you a good boost when your FP is at 25 or lower. However, he's pretty much the single worst player on Earth 11 to get this skill, as he has a ton of stamina and very low TP, meaning he's just straight up not going to be losing enough FP for it to be useful in the first place. Potentially the best name in the history of names, Zippy Lerner is a consistent defender with cheap spammy moves and a weak dribble. And really, that's all there is to him. He'll last the entire match and can provide some excellent defensive support, but a main flaw is that he doesn't get a shot block. Keenan Sharp is literally just Zippy Lerner, but Earth Element. He does have economy though, which makes him a little bit better. Zach Avalon's moveset is very post-game oriented. He has 2 very expensive moves in Eye of the Storm and I Am the Almighty. The problem, of course, is these aren't very good early game due to their very expensive TP costs. However, when he starts to find use for these moves, he does kind of fall behind in terms of power. So he's an amazing offensive player, but with a lot of flaws. I know, I'm surprised she's this low as well, because Trina does have the highest block and highest TP stats in the whole game. She has a good block, and she has a good dribble, making her a very solid and versatile defender, but her big flaw is that she lacks a shot block. And obviously she's nothing compared to Buddy Fury. Buddy Fury is menacing glare from the very beginning of the game. And whilst driving header is pretty garbage power-wise, it's amazing for cheesing the enemy AI with shot chains. And later down the line at around level 50, he gets Iron Wall, which is an amazing shot block, which the team does lack in general. So he weirdly enough becomes a really good defender. A lot of the reason why Galaxy can be quite easy is because of Terry Archibald. He levels up so quickly in the story, and the majority of enemy strikers in the game don't have the power to get past him. But in level 99 routes, he can struggle against some of the level 99 forwards. JP, on the other hand, doesn't quite have the same stats as Terry, but has a fighting spirit. And fighting spirits is so much better than totems because the numbers they generate are just so much higher. And he gets Flapjack Defense, which is a shot block, which actually makes him a pretty good defender as well. Yes, the 3 remaining players on this list all do have fighting spirits. There is a trend here. Victor Blade is going to be your MVP forward for the entire game, or at least when he's available. His stats are way too good to pass on, and he gets a large array of shooting moves. Doom Sword Slash is a cheap move, Bicycle Blade is a long shot, Doom Dive Drive is a chain shot, Supernatural Strike is a stun shot, the Earth Infinity is a power shot, and his fighting spirit, of course, is Lancelot. He is a very good forward. Arian Sherwin and Ricardo Dorigo are very similar players, but in number 2 is Arian, who has a better focus in shooting rather than defending. He's great from the start of the game to the end of the game. He is better as a forward than a midfielder just because his spirit is so much better than his totem, but come on, it's Arian. He's great no matter what you do. And finally, at number 1 is Ricardo Dorigo. Ricardo essentially makes the story a complete joke. Because Einsatz is such a cheap move, but such a good move, that it can basically be spammed endlessly throughout the entire story. He also gets 3 dribbles, 2 of which are really, really strong, and you add Maestro on top of that, and he's good in basically every single department. For the story, Ricardo is literally a cheat code. And that's the list. Let me know if you agree or disagree with our takes down below in the comments, and make sure you like and subscribe as always. And this has been every story player ranked in Inazuma 11. We've covered all the games now. But there is one more game we will eventually cover. That is, of course, Victory Road of Heroes down the line. So make sure you subscribe to see that when it comes out. But hopefully you enjoyed, and a massive thank you to Zikri AK, as always, for massively helping with these videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.